Good evening, college football fans. The night every SEC follower has been waiting for is finally here. LSU versus Alabama. One of the greatest rivalries in college sports returns under the Saturday night lights, and this time, the storylines are every bit as intense as the game itself. For Louisiana State University, this isn't just another matchup. It's a turning point. The Tigers will take the field for the first time this season without former head coach Brian Kelly leading the way. Kelly's firing after the October 25th loss to Texas A&M shocked fans across the country and left the program searching for direction. Now, under interim coach Frank Wilson, LSU will try to reclaim its pride and momentum. The question is, can they overcome the disruption and challenge one of the most consistent powerhouses in college football, the Alabama Crimson Tide? Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and the nation will be watching. Tonight's showdown will air live on ABC, with full streaming access available through ESPN Unlimited and other ESPN digital platforms. Whether you're sitting in Tiger Stadium, tuning in from Tuscaloosa, or streaming on your phone from across the country, this is the game you don't want to miss. The LSU-Alabama rivalry has produced some of college football's most dramatic finishes, memorable upsets, and defining championship moments. Both programs have deep histories of national titles, Heisman winners, and NFL-caliber talent. But beyond the stats and trophies, this matchup represents something bigger: pride, tradition, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Each time these two teams meet, it's not just a game. It's a test of identity. And with LSU reeling from coaching changes and Alabama pushing for let's rewind to what set the stage for this pivotal moment. Brian Kelly, who was brought in from Notre Dame in 2021, was expected to usher in a new era for LSU football, one built on discipline, recruiting power, and consistent national contention. But despite flashes of promise, the team never found its rhythm. This season, inconsistency on offense, breakdowns on defense, and a disappointing loss to Texas A&M were too much for the LSU administration to overlook. On October 25th, just days after that defeat, the university made the call. Brian Kelly was out. The move was risky. Mid-season coaching changes always are, but athletic director Scott Woodward said it was necessary to reset the culture and expectations of the program. The firing left players stunned, but also motivated, determined to show the world that the Tigers are bigger than any one coach. Enter Frank Wilson, a name that longtime LSU fans know well. Wilson has served in multiple coaching roles within Louisiana, including as LSU's associate head coach, and he's widely respected for his ability to recruit and inspire players. He's seen as a player's coach, someone who understands both the pressure and passion of SEC football. For many of the athletes, Wilson's leadership style, direct, emotional, and focused on unity, may be exactly what they need right now. His short-term mission is clear: stabilize the locker room, restore confidence, and give Alabama the fight of their season. Analysts say Wilson's biggest challenge won't be tactics, it'll be belief. Can he convince a shaken team to play with the same fire and focus as their fiercest rivals? We'll find out soon enough when those first whistles blow tonight. On the other side of the field stands Alabama, led by the legendary Nick Saban, a man synonymous with consistency, discipline, and dominance. The Crimson Tide enter this matchup with momentum, having climbed back into playoff contention after a strong mid-season push. Saban's teams rarely lose focus, and their ability to adapt under pressure remains unmatched. Alabama's quarterback play has improved significantly over recent weeks. Their defense has tightened, and their offensive line looks sharper than it did early in the season. But make no mistake, they're not taking LSU lightly. Rivalry games are emotional unpredictable, and capable of rewriting narratives overnight. Alabama knows that an LSU team with nothing to lose can be the most dangerous kind of opponent, fearless, desperate, and hungry to prove a point. Beyond the immediate matchup, tonight's game has broader implications for both programs and the SEC landscape. For LSU, it's about identity. Will this be remembered as the start of a new chapter or another season of transition? For Alabama, it's about legacy, maintaining their playoff push and reinforcing Saban's continued command over college football's toughest conference. The outcome could also influence future recruiting battles. High school prospects often watch rivalry games closely, reading body language, energy, and leadership on both sidelines. A strong LSU performance under Wilson could restore faith in the program's direction, while another dominant Alabama win might widen the gap between the two powerhouses even further. The stakes extend beyond the scoreboard. They stretch into the future of both programs. From a fan's perspective, tonight feels like a classic SEC atmosphere. Stadiums filled to capacity, tailgates overflowing, and entire states coming to a standstill for one night of football. The LSU-Alabama rivalry is about more than sports. It's cultural. It's pride between neighboring states, a tug-of-war between two fan bases that live and breathe their teams year-round. You'll see families divided, generations wearing opposite colors at the dinner table, and students painting their faces with school pride. And when the kickoff happens under those bright lights, every roar from the stands will carry decades of history and emotion. It's that shared passion that keeps college football alive, and why games like this continue to capture the nation's imagination year after year. For those planning to tune in, it's simple. The LSU versus Alabama game airs live tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC, with streaming available through ESPN Unlimited and the ESPN app. Pre-game coverage begins an hour earlier, featuring analysis, interviews, and predictions from some of the biggest names in college football. Fans can also catch live stats, highlights, and post-game recaps online through ESPN and the NCAA's official platforms. Whether you're watching for the athleticism, the strategy, or the sheer drama of it all, tonight's broadcast promises a full spectrum of emotions, suspense, excitement, and maybe even redemption. This is the type of game that reminds us why college football remains one of America's most beloved traditions. So as the countdown to kickoff begins, one question lingers in the air. How will LSU respond to the pressure? With their former coach gone and a new leader on the sidelines, this is their chance to turn turmoil into triumph. Alabama, as always, will be ready, disciplined, confident, and hungry for another victory. But rivalries have a way of defying logic, and history has shown that in games like this, anything can happen. Whether you're rooting for the Tigers, the Crimson Tide, or just for great football, one thing's certain. Tonight, the SEC's biggest stage belongs to LSU and Alabama. The lights are bright, the stakes are high, and the drama is set. Kickoff is moments away. Let the game begin.